Hey, True Believers England team. Did y'all get a little bit of that? Because I noticed, and I've mentioned this before, every time I say, hey, True Believers, the first second or two is us going, just waiting for it all to start.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
you know,
we do that.
Yeah, I don't mind a conversation going in. Maranya wanted to do a little hangout. We're home.
Well, we both wanted to do the hangout. Don't
That is true. That is true.
Oh, we have a pop. Who's popping in?
That is RDV the frog.
Oh, we had the frog. Hey, the frog here.
I was going through my old videos and and kind of deleting things. So yeah,
I did find the one that you did the segment of me my debut on YouTube. Please don't delete that.
Wait, you know which one you first started on?
Yeah, it's the one that we did in September of 2017, I believe.
Okay.
And the segment is talking about comic book pirates and something else.
Well, mine's already gone.
Really?
My debut was deleted like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay. Wow. I have no idea. I just went through and especially when they were all political. But I also thought, okay, if we have something to talk about, if you want to talk about some silly stuff, some cool stuff, some Christmas stuff,
yeah,
I am okay with all of this. Now this is saying 2020 right here.
You might have cut it down as a segment.
Because I thought I was at 2017.
Maranya, this is why you always download your own stuff.
Well, I can't download it.
There's a website for everything.
Oh wait, yeah. Oh, sorry, no wait, yeah. Actually, yes, I could, but it would just be audio only. I wouldn't actually.
No.
That's right. No, that's right. I can do the video. I that one does do video. Okay. I do have one where if I want certain songs,
what free hell is this? Oh, it's a free. No, I mean Dalton's up.
Hey Dalton. Oh, here. Let me.
What fresh hell is this?
We're just talking. Maranya mentioned wanting to do that. Gail's downstairs chilling out.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, cool time. Let's start up.
Let's do an old fashioned live stream.
Talk about
down
whatever.
In 3 parts.
That being said, and I might give you guys the reins for a bit because almost right. Well, this is why right before I started,
yes,
Gail started talking about something important, and if she wants to continue, I will turn off my mic and camera for a while. And
yeah, understood.
If you guys could take it. What's up, guys? Who did I just share? Did I share
Godzilla minus one watch party?
No, and do not spoil a damn thing. I'm gonna go watch that thing properly and see it in theaters and such like this.
Well, I'm gonna say that for a 2-hour movie, 20 minutes in, I'm bored. That's a bad sign for me.
Yeah, I heard it's about characters, and we know you're more about the blow shit up.
Yeah,
I'm more about Godzilla. Is he the -1? Is he removed?
Yes. Merry Christmas Eve to you, Dave.
Because if that's the case,
hey Dave, what's up?
I'm just saying, if that's the case, I'll go watch Monarch.
Yeah.
And by the way, guys, we did an unboxing of books that would have been in the auction had we did the auction on Saturday, but they will end up in the auction for next week. So if you haven't seen it, take a watch.
There's some good stuff in there.
The first half hour of it is the unboxing. The second half hour of it is us just hanging out. Hey Dalton, what's up? So
I'm doing all right. How's everybody else doing?
We're doing okay.
I'm doing good. We baked our Christmas ham Saturday morning. I've had some of it. It's actually really good because my husband has to work today. Today Christmas Eve 2 to 10, and then Christmas Day 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So he's doing a very short turnaround. But
so what you're saying is I should sick the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future on your husband's boss.
No, not really, because we can use the overtime because it is holiday pay. What?
Dalton has that authority?
I wish he did sometimes.
He has too much power.
I forgot about this. Her name is Vagina. When Marvel did made a character, it was it's in like Portuguese or something.
Oh my God, yeah, it did sound that way. Oof. Maybe that was the one
And
that
the
got
name,
flagged.
the name was like Spanish or Portuguese for
Yeah.
vagina. It was
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that one might have gotten you flagged. But
Okay, here's our that made
What-
$2.99.
What you should do is instead of simply deleting them, you should upload them on Rumble.
Yeah, well, what I'm doing is the ones that are timely. Probably not. The question is, what about the Spirit and the Gabbies? I mean, they don't get any views, but and they're not exactly.
they're
trans-
history.
But they're ours, goddammit.
They're a history lesson as to what was
Honestly,
actually good.
Honestly, I would just take them down, and what I would do, I would just put up this is the top 10 of this year, new video.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm talking about like
In
the best comics of 2021, the Spirit Awards. But stuff like The Patriots Become the Freedom Fighters and America's Fighting Ratsies, where we did the Freedom Fighter books.
Mm-hmm.
I am burning an HE double hockey sticks.
I would just create like an archive channel on Rumble, and anything that gets you in trouble or anything that gets deleted can just be uploaded over there.
Okay. Hold on,
still
guys.
have it.
Can you guys get some comments? Take the reins.
Okay, sure.
There you go. I will
no
be
problem.
right back.
All right,
sorry
then. No problem.
I already
Sorry about
was,
this, guys.
yeah, it's okay. I was already addressing comments while you guys were yapping.
Yeah.
Cool.
Merry Christmas, Dave.
Yes.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas Eve. Yes.
I've never heard of Final Wars. It sounds like something that's very niche from the 80s.
Mm.
Or
Right.
it could be one of those straight to DVD movies in the 90s. There's a lot of them.
It sounds familiar, but I don't know from where it sounds familiar.
Yeah. But getting back to what I was saying earlier about my husband and holidays, basically, it's rare when he doesn't work at least part of a holiday weekend or like certain holidays like New Year's, Christmas. I think we spent 2 New Year's Eves together, and we've been married 30 years.
That's I mean, from that I get the impression that your husband is a workaholic, so that part's fine. But
not necessarily a workaholic, but we could use the money. Security pays pretty good, and holidays are time and a half.
That's probably why you haven't seen him, because he's trying to get more money.
Yeah. Well,
but even so, if I ran the world, people who ask their employees to work on holidays would be paying fines somewhere.
No, but
it really depends on what your job is. If you work at a gas station or a food service,
like if it's a non-essential job, then I would definitely say you should be letting your employees off.
Yeah, well,
if it's absolutely 100% necessary, then that's a different story, maybe. But god damn it, it pains me whenever I hear people having to work on holidays.
I never growing up in the 90s. I was my dad worked factory jobs, so he'd work Saturdays for the overtime.
Mm-hmm.
So he was working 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Easily, yeah.
sometimes the weekends were mandatory. He had to work.
Oh yeah.
But that was I was talking to my mom about this the other day. It's like, yeah, I remember because my parents didn't have a bedroom. They gave up their bedroom for like my sisters, and then me and my brother bunked in another room.
Yeah.
But they only had one TV. That was in the living room where the pull-out couch was, the sofa sleeper, and that's where my parents slept. So I'd go on Saturday mornings, and I'd sneak in there like, it's 6 o'clock. I'd go watch cartoons, and then I'm like, I walk in there real slowly. I have to wake everybody up, and then I'm like, dang it, my dad's home. I couldn't watch TV. I was like sleeping. So I was but she told me, it's like, I never knew this, but my dad's like, he felt like he just worked. He never saw the kids. He just worked all the time.
Yeah, my dad was the same way. He worked a 5-day-a-week job, and then he also worked at a place that sold steamed crabs for money, and also worked at first the Washington Star and then the Washington Post. You remember back in the day those inserts you get in the Sunday papers?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he did. He was one of the inserters, and that was one of my brother's first jobs, was putting inserts in the Sunday papers.
Yeah,
and it paid pretty good.
My dad did.
Well, and see, that's the sad thing, though, when people work themselves so much to death that they don't actually get to see their families or even spend the money they make for it.
Yeah, well, they did. We did, but
my dad's thing was that because until I was born, my mom didn't work. My dad didn't want her to work basically not because the misogynist. No, he's just that I'll provide.
She shouldn't have to. Yeah. That's the actual response for most more traditional people. And that's why feminism will never win, because they don't actually address the arguments as the arguments are presented. They address the straw man. You must hate women and want women to be oppressed. No, it's like it's a type of privilege that men generally don't want to have their women work. Generally,
he had a good, decent paying job. He worked hard, and then he said you don't have to work if you don't want to. He's like, because we had, I'm the youngest of 4 kids, so it wasn't until the 90s when everything started getting politically screwed up and the economy, so my mom actually had to go and get a job because So now,
the economy is economy.
Well, I'm just saying it's been snowballing since the early 90s, and it's getting worse and worse.
With me, with my dad, we had 2 kids, me and my brother, and we were both in private Catholic school from kindergarten up through 12th grade.
Ouch.
Yeah, and the thing with this grade school, my dad would work bingo Wednesdays and Saturdays, and that gets a reduced tuition for the grade school. But we had two kids in Catholic high school, and with uniforms. Books I think were included. Or no, I'm not sure if we had to pay for the books. But uniforms. We had uniforms. Yes.
The white shirt, the white long sleeves with the little vest over it.
Well, for my brother, it was you had to wear a white shirt. You had to wear a tie of some, not a flashy tie, but
like a dress shirt.
White dress shirt, no vest, white shirt, tie, a blazer, and gray pants.
I assume they weren't that obsessive over what kind of tie, though, because
it had to be. It couldn't be like
distracting.
It couldn't be freaky patterns, but it could be striped. It was usually like solid blue or solid maroon.
Of course, selfishly, my instant question is: would they kick up a fuss if I tried to wear a bow tie? Because no force on this earth is ever going to make me swap a bow tie for a straight tie.
Honestly, I don't recall if anybody ever wore bow ties. But
I gotta ask though, Dalton, do you sleep with a bow tie on?
Yes.
It just never take it off.
I only change my clothes on the days when I bathe.
Do you take your clothes? When you go to bed, you don't just sleep in what you're wearing now, right? You actually do.
No, I sleep. I will sleep in this. I will sleep in this outfit until probably Monday, and then I will get. I will get a shower, and then I will change into a new outfit, which I shall then wear until Wednesday. Probably.
You're like the modern day vampire. You just it's missing the coffin.
I like wearing my bow ties and my various fineries, and I don't like being naked, so I sleep in my clothes.
No one says you have to sleep naked.
And it takes me for freaking ever to change my clothes, so I only do it on days when I actually am bathing.
Yeah. But like I said, the uniforms, like I said, he had it easy. I think it was like freshman and sophomore year, I think, were the blue blazers, and then you had the red blazers, or it was flipped. I can't remember which you had color coordinated for what year you were.
So Dave's asking everybody bring out the kids bring out tissues.
No, I don't.
No, elementary school you had a list of art supplies. You had to have
the books and the supplies. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nobody brought by my generation, nobody was bringing apples for the teacher.
No, we didn't do that.
If you did, you got pulled in the office. They don't know what you did to the apple.
Yeah, no, we didn't do apples for the teacher. We didn't do tissues, nothing like that. No, not my generation. No.
Pretty sure one of my teachers had a desk whiskey.
Yeah. Now,
I mean, they had you for a pupil. I'm sure the desk whiskey was necessary after a while.
Yeah.
I had 2 teachers that were chain smokers when I was in 5th grade. I was just laughing because and I was like, man, so the one lady, she would just wear so much perfume because she'd go on smoke at like 30.
Oof. Yeah,
Yeah,
that'll
so
do.
she puts the perfume on, trying to mask it. So it's like, holy crap, I'm in Boston store.
But yeah, it's like now grade school, you could have possibly gotten away with a bow tie because with the dress code was a little more relaxed because you could wear like blue for guys. It was like you could wear like solid color shirts. It was like, you know, the pale blues, the pale yellows, whites, things like that. You could wear a bow tie or a tie, and you could and the pants were like black, dark blue, I think gray was the thing. Now the girls, we had to wear the this maroon and black and white and gray, kind of like a tartan print for our skirts, and we had to wear the white blouse and this really doofy looking neck, you know, bow tie sort of thing. If you're
well, probably some kind of cravat.
No. It was like a little ribbon that went around the neck and it crossed. And
I see.
Snap.
Yeah,
it was a little doofy thing when I was younger. Later years, we had either green or maroon herringbone pants or a skirt.
This chapter called Maranya's childhood.
Yes, white blouse.
Timestamps.
Yes, white blouse, and you had either pointy collar, Peter Pan collar, and a sweater vest or a cardigan. Yes.
When I was a little girl.
Yes, when I was a girl. High school was nasty because the summer uniforms they had before my year were great. They, you know, like the 1950s summer dresses with the, you know, the poofy kind of skirt and the short sleeves and stuff like the shirt waist dress. That's what they had the year before I started. Yes. Oh, those look good. The year I started, they had. If you've ever seen either a nurse's uniform of the 70s or like a waitress dress, you know,
like a nurse Ratchet type thing.
Maranya, were you in the Grease era in high school?
No, I was not.
Grease
but that's
is
what they had for my Catholic high school. They had that kind of I liked that uniform, but they didn't have it when I started.
Didn't have. I went to public school.
Yeah, I went.
So the only time I saw anybody, there was one kid who had a bow tie, but that was like during like Christmas, like, you know.
Yeah, I was the only one in school my senior year because that's when I started wearing, you know, my usual ensemble.
Yeah,
I was the only kid in my senior year that wore bow ties, and it made me finally come into kind of my own because it gave me the confidence to be more social than I was previously.
Your distinction.
Hello to Otis. What's going on, man?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, but the summer uniform we had when I started, like I said, was the nurse's uniform, and it was in a pastel pink, which I hated, pastel aqua, and pastel yellow, and they were very. It was hard to lift your arms in it. It was very tight the way they had them fitted. So I loved the winter uniform, which was the maroon herringbone skirt and the white blouse, and you could wear a sweater vest or a vest.
They actually changed the uniforms that drastically.
Yeah, in my high school they did.
Season.
Yeah, they did.
That would have been more annoying actually than the uniform, I would imagine.
I didn't mind this. I love the switch to the winter uniform because it was comfortable.
This is why I'm hesitant to do Christmas videos. 36, 60, 88. Oh,
yeah. And I love senior year because you could choose to wear the winter uniform year round, and boy did I, because I hated the summer uniform.
Those aren't so bad. I'm seeing, look, what you're showing right now, I'm showing 200, 500, 600s.
Oh, these are from 2016. I'm going through these are the actual videos, not live streams, and I'm seeing what can still stay. I don't think these get play anymore, but I have a feeling if I combine them and just put, don't get rid of the date, combine them so they're a little bit longer, and then just put it out as, you know, best of cosplay and all that kind of stuff.
Or I Love Comics the early years, basically.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't put any date to it. No early year or anything like that. Just post it like that.
You could just say cosplay compilation.
Yeah, it would be. I think that would be a brand new video right there. Surprisingly, this is consistently in my top 10. Racist UC Berkeley students. Black,
well,
white
that's
students and-
timely because
Well, because that's very it's political, and unfortunately, it's evergreen because
Yeah.
college insanity or high school insanity is not a dying phenomenon, unfortunately.
when I started this video, this is one of the very first videos I made, and it went straight to 5,000 views. And I went, "Oh, this YouTube thing is easy."
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Before we forget, did you do the monetizing?
I do believe I did,
Check it to be sure.
but yeah, you're right. I should.
He's just
check
gonna delete this
to-
one anyway. I don't think you're. I don't see you keeping this.
Yeah, I might as well. Let's, like I said, it's the thumbnail says it. We're talking about silly and stupid things. Anything?
Yeah,
you guys
I
wanna
might,
talk about?
I might download it if you are going to delete it, because I don't like anything that I'm involved in to vanish into the ether.
Okay,
So-
Dr. Doom, my every utterance is worthy of recording.
Okay, but what is the point of having a YouTube channel if things just up and vanish on you? So
Well, I've got to
Well-
find the right thing that is up and vanished on me because something is flagged and it's messing up my channel.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I haven't done any favors. I mean, look at this: 23, 23, 21, 29. What I'm showing is I do skip a lot. So, you know, I'm not the most consistent.
I would say anything has "gay" in the title.
Or I would rephrase the title.
Yeah, I see a lot of people like adding stuff.
Maybe
okay,
I'll
so-
rephrase it to happy.
Hey,
So
Elise, where does
DC adds gay sex to the origin of Green Lantern 2 should be anal. Okay.
No.
Get rid of the word gay and replace it with anal. Yeah.
No.
So right now, whatever you're talking about right now, we can only see, your page hasn't moved at all. Your channel content.
Okay.
So, yeah. So if you're,
you could honestly probably get away with the formal use of sodomy, and it wouldn't trigger the thing. Most likely.
No. I would just say just replace it with a synonym, which was happy back in the day.
There it
Actually,
goes.
all I have to
But
do
like
is-
like I say, I would just take all the political videos that might be triggering the thing and just put them on like an archive channel on one of the free speech platforms like Rumble or whatever you
Yeah.
have.
or actually try BitChute.
Well, both.
no,
but I
tried
say Rumble
BitChute.
because Rumble's interface is slightly
Well, sure.
cleaner and
I know.
it is less choppy than BitChute
Hey,
is.
Eloise asking what's
generally.
going on. I'm just having a hangout live stream. I was deleting some videos and such, changing some.
The reason
He
I
put out
say
the call for shenanigans, and we showed up.
the reason
Why
I
not?
say BitChute is because even though you don't get money there, but BitChute is very hardcore, like to the right. So
I've got BitChute and I've got the videos automatically
Yeah.
going there. Nothing. There's
Oh.
nothing.
we get more. It's weird on our reviews, like Extreme
Mhm.
Movie Show. That gets more hits on BitChute than it does YouTube.
Yeah. So what has everybody seen recently?
Well, I watched
Anybody?
Beverly Hills Cop for the first time the other night.
You
Yeah.
know what? I
yesterday.
oh, really? How'd you like Beverly
Or,
Hills Cop?
actually not. Hey, it would be, I guess it is yesterday. It's after midnight here.
Yeah, it is.
It's a movie. It's not bad. It's entertaining,
Mhm.
but after you watch it, you kind of think about it. It's like, yeah, this is really not whatever would work in real life.
Yeah,
The way-
it's very.
Because a cop from Chicago or Detroit going to California, getting involved, getting arrested, and then
Oh,
it just.
That's like in the Heat of the Night, the original with Sidney Poitier.
Well, the other one was the other thing I didn't like about it is the fact that cops in California are just a joke, and this is supposed to be like the '80s, like
Mhm.
1984. And I just kept thinking, it's like John
This
Reinhold.
has not changed much. If anything, it's gotten worse.
Well, no,
Yep.
but Judge Reinhold's character, it was the worst in that whole entire movie. I just wanted to hit him.
Oh yes.
Same with Taggart. Like everybody on there, other than Eddie Murphy, I just wanted to punch.
Mm-hmm. They were
But-
intended to do. They were intended to be that way.
I know, and Rob and I have talked about this, where Hollywood makes cops look like idiots in
Oh,
some
yeah.
movies.
Oh yeah.
Well, Hollywood makes everyone look like an idiot sooner or later.
But there are a lot of movies where the cops were meant to be bumbling idiots.
Ethereal. I liked season 2 of the Santa Clauses.
What I
thought that was a
saw
lot
of it,
fun.
I liked.
I enjoy the TV show. I like the franchise. Just the other night when I was doing the auction stuff, I did a marathon of 1, 2, and 3 for the movies. I like the Santa Claus.
Honestly, with regards to Venkman's point about cops looking like idiots, you'd have to run the numbers to see how often it's cops look like idiots versus cops being corrupt, because I find the corrupt cop motif shows up more often than the idiot cop motif.
Like, you look at the action movies. Perfect example. You look at like the Grinch, Lethal Weapon. Like, you have the super cops, which are the main characters. They're supposed to be the best, and then everyone else around them are kind of bumbling idiots.
Yeah.
Like,
but,
it's a weird trope.
You at least as often have the one lone good cop in a sea full of cops on the take, or cops that work for the mob, or various other kinds of corrupt cops.
There's that too, but a lot of movies you see, like a lot of the early 80s movies, are like the government was more corrupt. The big everything was like anti-government. Which I thought was kind of funny.
Which I mean, to be fair, my kingdom for the anti-government attitude back.
There's always a conspiracy for the government. You know, can't trust the government. There's always a secret black ops thing. You know, that came out of Vietnam.
Again, for as cliche as it became, I think the anti-government ethos ages like fine wine. I mean, just look at where we are now.
Hey, where's John Denver and the Muppets?
Actually, this is a very limited. I might spend the night here putting one of these together to do tomorrow before Gail gets home. I don't know if I'll have time because apparently I'm going to be driving around a lot, because in the morning Gail goes to work, and I do know I've got some last minute shopping to do, and then I got to come home and get Elizabeth to work, and then I got to come home and then go get Gail again when it's time for her to come home. And then I know we're going to be doing a little bit of... Hey, wait a second. How's that supposed to work?
Well, at least it's warm outside. Are you?
Yeah, and then at 11, I've got to go get Elizabeth. Or 10:45, I got to go get Elizabeth. That's how it works. Yeah. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of moving around. A lot of doing. But I don't know. I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood today.
Yeah.
After when I went to go grocery store earlier, I was back on my driveway. I just look over my lap. I'm like, oh, it's someone looking at the flashlight on the sidewalk. It's like 10 o'clock at night. I look over there, and I'm like, and I see, why is there a cop parked over the lights on the road? And then wait, because I thought my neighbor was pulling out when somebody was talking to him. No, somebody was facing towards the road in the ditch in his yard. Somehow they got spun around, and they're facing towards the ditch, towards the road, and the cop was like, I was like, I don't know, because if the person was drunk or whatever, because I know it's super dense fog out by me, but it was funny. I was like, wow, that car's a lot closer to me than it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be in the driveway further away.
But
yeah, that was kind of funny.
Yeah, with me, the most recent movie I've actually seen, I finally got to see Guardians 3 the other day.
Yeah, how'd you like it?
Oh my God, I say it straight up front, and I'll accept all the haters for this. I am not a fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy movies in general. The one I liked the most was before this was the holiday special, which hit me in the feels.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Guardians 3 super hit me in the feels. I mean, I literally, like, with the first 10 minutes of the movie,
you will cry by the end of this first act.
I was bawling my eyes, and I did not stop until the end of the movie. Even then, after, I was like,
That's how I feel in the RPG.
Hush, Venkman.
Yes, but seriously, I liked it. I could see where some people will go, oh, this was this, that's the other thing. But I like the character developments for all of them. And poor Rocket. I liked Rocket to start. He was one of my favorite characters all the way through. But oh my God, poor Rocket.
Well, the story of Lila, I'd already experienced that before.
Oh yeah, with the game.
the Guardians Telltale game. I think it came out.
Yeah, which I don't.
Or was it Telltale? I can't remember what it was. That was Guardians game that came out last year or the earlier this year. They did that, and then also.
I thought Guardians 3 was the weakest of the three, but then again, I also really, really like the Guardians movies, so being the weakest of those three is not a shameful thing to be.
Yeah. The first one I kind of liked. The second one was like, yeah.
Well,
and this one.
I got a question. Did you guys?
The first movie is thus far my favorite. My favorite movie in the MCU is Guardians 1.
Was that?
I honestly, if I'm lining them up, I haven't seen Aquaman yet. I got to tell you, the Marvels doesn't end up at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, I'll watch it once it comes on. D+.
For this year's movies, MCU.
For this year, what do we have?
For the whole bunch.
Yeah,
Ant-Man, Marvels, and we had Guardians, right?
Ant-Man was not too bad.
Ant-Man 3 and Marvels. I can't remember what that one was.
I would probably now I've got to watch Ant-Man again to really make a decision on this, but I'd probably watch the Marvels over Ant-Man again. If I had if I had to watch one of them, part of it is because I do believe that Ant-Man probably has a little bit over the Marvels, but the Marvels is only an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And two, no, that's pretty much it.
I'll watch Paul Rudd. I'd rather watch Paul Rudd.
It's not. The Marvels isn't the worst of the MCU, but that's only because
it was created. Yeah,
that's only because Thor: The Dark World and Eternals were worse.
It's that What If. Oh, by the way, did you guys see What If?
The
season
new stuff?
2, episode 1.
I still haven't watched. I still haven't gotten into season 2 yet. No.
Okay, for those of you who didn't hear my rant last night, I'm watching it.
Oh, the newest one?
It's What If Nebula were part of the Nova Corps, right? So it begins and it tells a little bit of the backstory, and then all of a sudden it says, and then Ronan turned on Thanos, and you see Thanos is destroyed, and Ronan is sitting there, and
that should have been the premise.
Yeah, I'm like, what the? No, that's the story.
You're following a side story when you really should be following the main story. Ethereal Dragon.
There's a rule in writing that goes: you never leave a gorilla in the phone booth. What it means is your character's in a phone booth. All of a sudden, a gorilla appears, and the clouds were billowing white with a no. You talk about that gorilla that's in the phone booth. That's what the audience wants to know about.
It's the Chekhov's gun thing. But like I was saying, Ethereal Dragon. As someone who has recently seen Aquaman 2 by way of piracy, I would say no. It's not anywhere close to the worst of this year. As far as DC movies are concerned, it's actually pretty good. The only criticisms I have for Aquaman 2 are really that after about the third or fourth obvious reshoot, it seems like the entire production team just sort of gave up and went, well, do whatever you have to do to do the bare minimum, guys. But as far as like it being fun and funny, I genuinely think there was a pretty good movie in Aquaman 2. It's just they didn't finish it. He was
talking about Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is the weakest of that trilogy. I agree with him. I think 1 and 3 were far stronger.
Ant-Man 3 is the worst of the years, but he said.
Yeah.
Oh, Ant-Man 3? Yeah, I would rather watch Ant-Man 3 than Marvels.
Okay, what actually came out this year? I'll tell you if I've seen it or not.
I'll tell you what I think should have
of the Marvels.
There are some movies I think that bombed, some superhero movies that bombed this year that shouldn't have. One of them is Shazam: Fury of the Gods.
I would love to see that, but I do not have that streaming service.
That is it's now. I think it's now on
no.
Netflix,
Shazam 2 was really good.
Is it on Tubi?
Not to wait. It might be actually because DC sold a lot to.
If it's Tubi, then I can possibly watch it.
I know it's on Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix I do not have.
Netflix. Fury of the Gods was awesome. Yes, there was the random Skittles commercial in the middle of the movie.
Oh, that's like the Reese's Pieces from ET.
Yeah, but I've seen worse. There's a movie that I liked from Adam Sandler. Now, Adam Sandler is horrible about his product placements.
Mm-hmm.
He'll actually interrupt a movie to do product placements, and he does in what's it called, Mr. Deeds. Now he does it everywhere. At least it fits in Happy Gilmore, where it's like, all I got to calm me down now is this lovely cold cut sandwich from Subway. Whoa. And then of course it shows them doing the commercial. Okay, they actually have a commercial in there. Mr. Deeds, it's like they go to pick up Mr. Deeds. They find out he's inherited a fortune, so he's flying him over. He goes, one thing first, and then it shows them landing in a Wendy's parking lot, and then it shows them eating the food on the plane. It's like, hey, how's that Big Bacon Classic doing, Carl? Yeah, you loving that Frosty, Randy? Oh, you gotta love these fries. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's.
Did you just recently watch
anyone who's ever complained about product placement, watch a few of those, and then you'll never complain about product placements in normal movies ever again.
The one movie about product that people complained about product placement I don't understand was Superman. Superman, Man of Steel. Oh, they flew through by a Kmart, and then they flew through. Have you been outside?
Have you been to a city?
Anywhere where there's all these signs and brands all over the place.
Yeah, they were fighting in the middle of a city. It would be odd if they didn't crash into anything that sold anything.
I gotta ask, did you recently watch Mr. Deeds? How do you remember that shit? All I remember is it changed my socks and then the guy crashed in the car. That's it.
I remember a lot of the movies I saw a long time ago, but not recently. But at the end of Shazam: Fury of the Gods, they find out that like with fruit, you can calm a unicorn with fruit, and she's got the Skittles. You know, they're chasing the monsters down the road, riding unicorns, and the little girl goes, "Taste the rainbow, mother." They cut her off.
It fits the tone, though. That's the thing. That's why it doesn't bother me. It makes sense for a Shazam movie to do something like that.
Dude, yes. Hey, Keely Chow, what's up? Dave, you're absolutely right. Return of the Killer Tomatoes. Around the halfway point, they realize they don't have money to finish the movie, so they have to throw in product placements. And at one point, there's a serious conversation between two people at the table, and somebody's slowly raising a Kellogg's cereal box. Okay, I thought it was funny. Sure.
Yes,
okay,
but yeah, for the second time, what were the superhero movies that came out this year?
Okay, we had Shazam.
Marvel?
Preferably Marvel, because I don't.
Oh, that was just Ant-Man.
And the Marvels.
Marvels, yeah.
And let's see. And last year was, of course, like Eternal.
Yep. You also had the Loki TV show, which was okay.
Which I have not seen yet. The first one
not great, but I love the ending.
Yeah, I don't get why Loki gets 2 seasons of a show. I honestly don't.
Because this guy's better acting.
Because the first one did so well, and it was the one that was successful.
I'll tell you what, though, they wrapped up the whole thing about the multiverses. So if they don't want to do it anymore, they don't have to. Done.
Good.
I.e., if they can't, because Jonathan Majors had to be fired, and in his contract it says he's the only one that can play Kang.
The next
so they're gonna have to restart.
Are you serious? That's what it says?
Yeah, in his contract, there's a clause that said, and the initial thought was, so you can't replace me with AI. But in his contract, it said he's the only one that can play Kang in the MCU.
Oh, yeah. So actually, the three, it was Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvels, and
I was going through them in order.
Yeah.
The next one up was Ant-Man, which was a bomb, but it was only a bomb because of budget. A lot of people went to see Ant-Man. Tons of people went to see Ant-Man. Ant-Man was not an unpopular film. A lot of people went to see Ant-Man multiple times. So
it was the weakest of the 3 movies, though. It was the weakest of the 3 Ant-Man movies.
What I'm trying to point to is, and this is the whole point to talk about, is that it was the budget that truly destroyed that more than...
It's a budget more than the story.
The first 2 Ant-Men were hits, but they weren't hits like this, and they were... And Disney
Ant-Man has always been an also-ran franchise for the MCU.
Ant-Man they were expecting Ant-Man to be a bigger hit than any other film had been.
Because it started Phase 5 and had the big bad in it.
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a lot of answers there, Dalton, as I'm trying. So tell me, why would you look at a moderate superhero that has never made that much money and go, oh, this is the tentpole?
I'll tell you exactly why. Because the first real lengthy exposure to Thanos was in Guardians 1, and that made buttloads. That's the corporate thinking they did.
Guardians of the Galaxy was an unproven commodity. Okay. Ant-Man had already proven itself to not be a billion-dollar movie franchise.
Right, but let me explain to you how the corporate logic works. Yes, Ant-Man has always been kind of an also-ran character, but if we set him up as the first movie in Phase 5 and make the big bad of the entire 3 phases his big bad, then he'll do larger than he ever has done. That's the corporate logic.
Nobody gave a shit about Kang.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's a huge mistake they made. Bring in Doom. I agree with that. I absolutely agree with that. By the way, Eric and Boyd, it's not too early. We're up late.
Yes. But I was going to say, the Ant-Man theory. I'll let you talk in a second. Is that yes, Ant-Man was not the big seller, but it was a steady. It was like a
stable.
Yeah.
It was a second tier movie, but it brought in decent revenue enough that they said, well, maybe we'll take a gamble this time. And
if we can tweak it and make it larger, that'll work in our favor.
Do you guys mind if I've never done this?
What is
and
it?
I have a comic book movie channel, a movie channel, and I've never talked about this because everybody's got there. The reason Phase 4 failed, and of course, the woke stuff. Okay, let's get rid of that. Bad scripts is really the reason. But also, did you notice? I mean, first they had like 23 freaking projects. They had hours and hours. Everything that happened in the first 4 phases or first 3 phases, they had more product in the 4th one. But the thing is none of it was connected. Right. None of it it wasn't like, okay, we're going to start this storyline with Loki and we continue it right after. There was no continuation. When you had Phase 1, sure, Iron Man was popular, so let's get that second movie out in 2 years, right? It was 2 years.
Yeah, it was 2 years.
But also, let's keep building to the Avengers Initiative.
Yeah, it was.
They still had Thor and Captain America, sure, but once Thor is popular, okay. 2 years later, 3 years later, we have Dark World. Point being is they connected shit, and there wasn't so much that was going off on its own. It was very much a patchwork kind of thing, and the worst part of it was that whole throw it at the wall and see what sticks. When something stuck on the wall, they ignored it.
Yeah,
except for Kang, and nobody gave a fuck about Kang. Kang was dead into Loki.
And here's the other problem, and this will never cease to make me absolutely angry at them. They had an extra year they could have been using to have meetings and plan things out because COVID should have been the clouds part and the angels start singing for Marvel Studios, because if they for some reason hadn't already planned out phases 4 through 6 by that point, they should have been planning it all along. But since they didn't apparently plan anything until after Endgame, they should have used that year that COVID gave them to, okay, we can't make stuff, we can't, get in the office and start fiddling around with the CGI. But what we can do is sit down and have a conceptual meeting where we go and be like, what's next for phases 4 through just like they did previously with the first 3 phases. Why in God's name did they not simply use the year that was basically year to year and a half that was handed to them on a silver frickin' platter and go, okay, the first 3 phases went like gangbusters. What's next for the MCU? But apparently they didn't do that, and so it was just, we'll patchwork it together after the fact.
One of the larger problems also, and this is how I see it, as much as I liked some of the TV shows, they needed to be movies, or they needed to be one-shots or mini-series a lot shorter, because as much as, okay, we had so many projects, there were TV shows in there, which kind of expands that. It was so much that led to nothing. Now, granted, we're getting an Echo that hooks to Hawkeye. We got a season 2 to Loki. Apparently, Captain America is going to come out and is going to be
Agatha's getting her own show. Thank God.
But it's too late. They should have done that last year. They should have done it this year. It's all too late for that.
Yeah, again, if
Eric
you're
go ahead and be quick about.
Sorry.
Okay.
And
then
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Like I was saying, if they're gonna play this game of let's play everything by ear, then you have to actually be willing to respond to what people actually like and ignore or get rid of anything that doesn't work. Like the famous boner joke that completely nerfed the end of WandaVision. They should have steered so far away from that at light speed, but they didn't for some reason.
Right. Well, what I was going to say is with the MCU when it first started, you had Iron Man and then you had the teaser of the Avenger Initiative. So that was something that we could look forward to. Then you had Iron Man 2 with the little breadcrumbs to Thor. Thor with the breadcrumbs to Captain America. Captain America with the breadcrumbs to the Avengers. And then you had the Avengers. And then you had breadcrumbs to the next movie. And that's what it kept going, progression.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they did for all the way up through and including Endgame. The only stumbling block I saw in terms of up to Endgame, the only 2 movies I saw that were the stumbling blocks, and one wasn't quite as bad as stumbling block, were Captain Marvel and the second Ant-Man movie. But the Ant-Man movie actually did tie into
Endgame, yeah.
Well, that one actually wasn't as bad.
Can I say something now? I've been waiting.
Go on ahead.
2 turns now.
I apologize.
I just want to say that Thanos was boring to me. So as people talk about Kang being boring, Thanos didn't really do much for me at all. They nerfed the Hulk to make Thanos look good.
Okay, Ethereal.
No, they didn't.
Ethereal,
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
Look, the Hulk's too scared to come out. BS.
That was something different, but
that was stupid. That was stupid.
Yeah, it was. We agree on that, but that wasn't nerfing the Hulk to make Thanos, because Thanos could kick the shit out of the Hulk, and that's one of the big things. You can't.
Maybe that version of the Hulk, but I mean, as I said, at least in the comic books.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Hulk has over the last 10 years has become way OP. They decided that, I'll say
they Batman him basically.
I would say
the whole point of any villain, and when you have a Thanos and he's going against the villains, is no one villain no one hero can beat the villain. That's why they need to team up. And Hulk cannot beat Thanos one-on-one.
Yeah.
Especially if he's got any of the gemstones.
Right.
And he did have the Power Stone.
What's the point of that to make Thanos just be like, okay, what was me? I did everything I won. Okay. I'm bored.
That part was kind of stupid.
I was and then we got pregnant Thor.
No.
No,
you misunderstand. It wasn't that he was content. This is a man who spent his life. He was traumatized by what happened to his planet. He wanted to make sure it couldn't happen to any other. So when he snapped half the universe, it wasn't anything, well, I'm bored. He was content.
He won.
He had achieved what he
had accomplished the one thing he wanted to do all those years.
And now he's going to actually sit and enjoy his accomplishment. That was what the end of Infinity War. That's what
he had no purpose left, and then he got beheaded.
No, it wasn't about him not having purpose. His purpose was filled, and now he's going to enjoy the fruit.
He retired, basically.
Yeah. It's not about, I don't have purpose. It's just now I don't have to do so much. It's a whole
now my job is done. Time to kick up my feet and crack a cold one, or in his case, go be a farmer.
Eric asks, do we think anything in 2024 superhero or not? I've got a bigger question. Will you let it be good? That there's something going on.
I want to let it be good.
There's hold on just a sec. There's something going on, and we know it's with the black pills. We know other people, but I've seen it now bleed everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
A movie years before now, because we're hearing it about the James Gunn shit. Years before anything comes out, it's failed. It's a failure already. It's done. Are you going to allow it to be good, or are you going to fucking hate it right to the moment it comes out, and then when you go see it, are you going to look for reasons to be right?
No, no.
That is the big difference. That's a big fucking question.
Okay, I can speak to that. Back when Iron Man came out, I was very skeptical that they would do my guy, proper in terms of a movie. I was very skeptical. Said, who, Robert Downey Jr., who's this guy, and all that. And I went in skeptical, and I was pleasantly surprised. I did not. I was not going. I'm going to hate it. I was just skeptical that they could do it right.
By the way, Eric, I wasn't speaking to you. I wasn't speaking to you specifically. I know it was your question, but I am speaking to in general.
That's the way I am.
Sorry, Maranya, go ahead.
I was going to say that's how I feel about movies. I will go in with an open mind, Shoshin, the open mind, and look at it, and not prejudge it on. I try not to watch like the spoilers and what have you. I go in, and that's how I feel about a movie. I don't go, okay, well, this is going to be crap because so and so is writing it. This is going to be crap because so and so is directing it. I don't do that. I just go, okay, I'm going to watch. If I want to watch the movie, it's like if I want to watch a Shazam movie, and I really do, by the way, I'll go see it, or see it on streaming or what have you. But I don't go automatically just it's a Spider-Man movie. I don't want to see it.
See, I'm slightly different because I actually do seek out the spoilers because I want to go in informed. I don't want to go in expecting one thing and then get completely blindsided. I want to at least be able to meet the movie halfway. But I also do try to meet the movie halfway. Like, for example, I was absolutely terrified, especially after No Way Home, that they were going to turn Doctor Strange into No Way Home 2 Multiverse Boogaloo guest starring Doctor Strange. But when I saw the movie and I saw that Sam Raimi, much like myself, saw the title Multiverse of Madness, and instead of zeroing in on multiverse, he zeroed in on the of madness part, the Lovecraftian part. I was like, oh my god, thank you, Sam Raimi. You even knowing the plot summaries and everything going in, I was still afraid that they were going to turn it into nonsense, but they managed to pull me back. Another example. Do you remember when we first got the announcement of Pierce Brosnan playing Dr. Fate? I was absolutely terrified. I was terrified they were gonna make the helm too important and basically make Kent a freaking meat suit like they always do with the New 52 retcon and stuff. But like I and everyone else said, and that includes people who had never even heard of Dr. Fate prior to Black Adam, he was the standout character, and as a Dr. Fate fan, I came away from that satisfied. Would have been more satisfied if he didn't die in the end, or if we had gotten a trilogy of Dr. Fate prequel movies set in the 20s and 40s, but oh well.
Yes.
You got something to say on the matter?
As far as this whole topic?
I'm about to share the screen for 2024 movies. I'm talking about the Black Pill. Are you going to? How do you go into films?
So my thing is that right now we're so used to everybody being a black pill coming out and saying things, but when someone is not a black pill and like me, I usually don't hate on things. If I question, I see certain things like looking at, hey, we're gonna get Tom King to write the Superman script. I cringe a little bit because so it's not even a black pill. It's just not. It's just, and then I see you keep announcing how many people are in the cast. We've suffered through this before. We had too many people in the cast, and it's way too big. Like Justice League was a big thing.
Yeah.
Now, but I can't hate on the film because it's not out. But I'm just gonna say there are some red flags. But it is James Gunn. It's not your other directors.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am. I always try to go in informed, because then I can brace myself for a possible disappointment or be really impressed when they turn it around. But that being said, I'm not going to sit here and say things don't worry me when they worry me. I try to meet the movie halfway, but the movie also has to try to meet me halfway somewhere.
Okay, so here's some 2024 movies, which right away I want to talk about something. Okay, the American Society of Magical Negroes. is a movie that is going to be coming out.
Black Magic.
Wah, wah, wah,
Now,
wah.
allow me to explain something I've seen a lot of people commenting on that they do not understand. You have the white savior. This is movies like what's that? The Dangerous Minds, stuff like that. You'll see the white teacher go into the black class and all of a sudden turn them around. Maybe they did a basketball game. Maybe something happens. The white guy goes in. That's called the white savior. The magical Negro is the black version of that, where the black character helps out the white character so he can fulfill whatever dream.
Uncle Remus.
The biggest one that got just panned by it was The Greatest Game, where Will Smith played a magical golfer teaching Shia LaBeouf. Okay, now here's the big thing, and this is where I think it really veers off. Because first of all, when I heard about it, I went, "Oh, okay, this is kind of funny. They're going to be explaining why this is a case, blah blah blah, yada 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 yada. The white man is the most dangerous animal on earth. Hold the fuck on." Yep. Not once did any white savior go, "Okay, you stupid black people, I'm here to make you smart by teaching you white ways." Not once did anything racist like that shit come out, and don't you any of you fucking clip that.
Not even in the parody versions of it, like Big Trouble in Little China.
High School High was the parody of the white savior. Go on ahead.
I just want to say the most dangerous thing on earth is not the white man. It's the woman.
Well, it's the human in general, but we can't say human in general. We have to.
Okay.
Why is it true? Why is it true?
Okay, just give me, guys.
Okay, okay, you can do yours. Okay, go ahead.
All right. We're not talking about the joke with the woman. No, that was just a bad joke.
Go ahead, boss.
Okay, so that is what I think really bothers a lot of people. Look, if they decided, okay, there was this trope and we're going to make fun of it, the magical Negro, okay, fine. But they put in that one line where they are the most dangerous animal on earth. And all I can think of is
the critical race nonsense.
In all of the fights, the fact that a group of black kids just murdered, beat to death a white kid. The fact that you're seeing all of it, the number one, since I was a teenager, all the way to now, the number one way a black man's going to die is by the hands of another black man. So I think that's the line that truly has people
because it's obvious. It's obvious that they're not trying to make a universal parody of the black Negro trope. They're trying to.
I would have loved to have seen that movie, and I still want to see this movie because it's got some funny freaking people in it, and
they're trying to use it as a social justice soapbox. Though is the problem.
Funny, and that's why I want to see it.
Then again, that line could be to inspire the black pills.
It can also
just reading the title and looking at the poster. It's like Willy Wonka shit or something. I don't know.
Wonka.
It's like a drama Willy Wonka or something. I don't know.
To be fair, even the SJWs didn't like it because they used that particular variation on the N-word, and it's too old apparently now.
Just shut. You know what? I'm not telling you to shut up, but it kills me. It really does. It really does. It amazes me because I hear this all the time, and I know I've got some listeners and viewers who are black. So if I offend you, it's on you. It kills me that all I hear about is how we're taking back that word. We're taking that back. No, I don't want to say it. And I know it's socially unacceptable, but we're taking back that word. How can you imagine that you have taken back a word that will set someone off emotionally enough that they're going to beat the shit out of someone else just because they uttered it? That is not you owning any freaking word. If you can hear and understand what I'm saying, please pass that on. Because I'm tired of going, no, you're full of shit.
You can't change the definition of a word until you universalize the new definition.
Say what you want to say, but be prepared to be hit.
Yeah, but the thing is, hey, look, and I get it. If it upsets you and so forth, but don't tell me we're taking it back if you're going to lose your crap every time somebody says it.
Anyway, next movie.
Arthur the King. I haven't really heard about.
Argyle. You missed Argyle.
Who?
Argyle.
Argyle?
An American Star. What are those?
What is? I'm not stopping at everyone.
No, I'm not saying.
Oh, Argyle. Okay, this is that Henry Cavill movie. I saw the preview for this. It actually
Ooh.
looks
His
pretty
hair
good.
looks
Yeah,
great.
the like thriller type
Yeah, it's like
thing.
funny. I
It's
think
a
it's
comedy
funny.
spy film. It's a
Okay.
comedy
Oh,
spy
look,
film.
look, John Cena's in there.
Yeah.
Okay, that
Oh.
looks kind of interesting. It looks like it could. It's like a what's it like a police academy or Naked Gun kind of spoof
Yeah.
of the other spy movies.
Hold on, I just said something that is kind of fiery. So let me see if anybody, for instance, Daenerys Targaryen playing the White Savior in Game of Thrones when she freed the slaves. Yeah, kind of. Is Bagger Vance a magician? I never saw that movie. He is literally. I actually think he disappears into the ether. He may actually be. The movie looks hilarious. I can't wait to see. I know it looks funny. And
Every
plus,
movie.
for as nut bar as he is, I find David Alan Grier to be funny.
So,
what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say out of all those first 6-7 movies, I stop at Beekeeper and Beverly Hills Cop. That's the first two that jump on me that I actually care to want to see. The other ones, no, sorry.
What? Okay.
Fast
What's Arthur the King? I'm just curious.
It's probably a King Arthur modern story. I don't know.
Yeah, I would guess it's another.
My guess it's an
Arthur reboot.
unexpected encounter and unlike a road on him for it's a dog movie.
Oh, it's a dog movie.
And every January has a dog movie now. It's kind of like it used to be Liam Neeson films. Now it's dog movies.
Mhm.
Last year they had a movie about a father and son trying to find their lost dog. It was called Dog Gone.
Yep.
I shit you not.
But tish.
The Beekeeper looks pretty good. That's the new what's his name movie.
You see them.
Jason, thank you.
It's right on the poster.
Oh well, then it'll be fun then. I mean,
It's the
Jason
first one-
Statham is one of those guys that like anything they do will be fun. So okay.
He did the movie with that other chick from Bridesmaids, which was annoying.
I want to see this. I saw the preview. It looks funny. It looks like it's really tying into the first movie. The third one sucked, but the first one.
Judge
and
Reynolds come back for it though. I saw.
Which movie?
This is Brotherhood Cops 4.
The Book of Clarence. I have not seen a preview for this, but I will tell you something. I will follow Lakeith Stanfield into whatever film he wants.
Who?
This dude right here.
I don't know who he is.
Did you see Haunted Mansion?
No.
Did you see Get Out? He was in that. Sorry, Wrong Number. He was awesome in that. There was a.
Oh right, okay. Now I know who you're talking about.
2 years ago or last year or the year before, there was a Western movie that came out. I forget. It starred. Oh goodness gracious, what's his name? Played in Suicide Squad. Black guy.
Idris Elba.
Yeah, Idris Elba. Yeah. There was a Western starring Idris Elba where Lakeith Stanfield was the badass gunfighter. And it was just awesome. This is he might actually be one of those faces you've seen, but you might not know the name.
He's kind of like the serious version of Orlando Jones.
Yeah, okay.
Well, he hasn't. I don't think he's hit big yet. Is the thing. I don't think he's hit a star.
Well, he was
role
in
yet.
Get Out, but he was a small player in The Harder They Fall. Thank you, Smokey Collects. That movie fucking rocked. I love that film.
No disrespect to Orlando Jones, but he just never was a really big star. But he was in a lot of things.
Yeah, he's kind of taken on that role.
Yeah.
So okay, I'll tell you what. I will see this because it's got him in it. Easily.
Okay, next.
Okay, let me reshare. Alrighty, and let's see what is next. But there you go. He's one of my favorite actors there. Okay, so we have the Bob Marley One Love. I can see it. I can't. I mean, and it's nothing against Bob Marley. It's against rock and roll biopics.
Well, yeah, it's the fourth one now, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, it's a millionth. It's gonna.
Ever since Bohemian Rhapsody hit really big, they've been churning them out like no tomorrow.
He's gonna have his rise. He's gonna get on drugs. He's gonna have his fall, or somebody's gonna be chasing him. You know, it's.
Every entertainment biopic ever.
Yeah.
Have you seen this preview?
Yeah. No, thank you.
I'm wanting to see how they do this.
Like, it looks like they're just a political take and like this is what's gonna happen if the MAGA people revolt. They're gonna get killed.
I don't know which way it's going, but considering the players in it, I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
If there is I'm sure he is a sweet man. I have never met him. He married Kirsten Dunst. He's done a couple of good movies, but if there is ever a guy who looks like he would be a white supremacist, it's that what's his name, Jeremy Pletham or whatever, that he's been in. He was in Breaking Bad. He's been a villain in damn near everything, but yeah, I can see it. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to this one. It might be as good as what was it called, that comic book where California left the United States.
Ed said that California and Texas versus California would never side with Texas.
I know, right?
Texas would take over California.
Oh, I went too far back.
But
yeah, that would never happen.
I'm just trying to think. There's another movie that was like that too. I think that was called The Hunt.
Oh yeah,
yeah, the one that starred what was her name?
Jesse Plemons. Thank you. He was in Vice. Trash. Yeah. I'll see it. I don't know any of these. Curse of the Sin Eaters, Damsel, Destroy All Neighbors.
I'm sure Curse of the Sin Eaters is a horror movie, and that sounds like it might be interesting. Netflix movies. Okay. That's the big thing too, is Netflix is coming out with a lot of original stuff now, content.
And good for them.
No.
Oh, on Netflix, there a few years back there was a movie called The Level, I believe it was, where like this thing would go. It was a prison, and there was if you're at the top level, this thing goes down. It's got all this food on it, and you pick out whatever you want. And it was as it goes lower and lower, it gets junkier and junkier and less things on it. I thought that was a really good movie. Okay, something called Drive Away Dolls. These are just movie. Oh, Ethan Coen. I'm in it. I'm in.
So
speaking of Netflix movies, anyone else remember the movie I Care a Lot? That one was it was a dark comedy, but I thought it was really good actually.
So
yeah, with Tyrion.
So there's 12 posters. Yeah. There's 12 posters for Dune. Who's getting all of them?
I know, right? Okay, I absolutely want to see Dune. I liked the last one. I hated the first one, the one that came out in the 80s.
You didn't like the David Lynch one? I didn't love the David Lynch one, but I absolutely hated the Denis Villeneuve one. So the only thing I'm looking forward to about Dune Part 2 is being the one and only person who dislikes it again, probably.
Yeah. So,
because for some reason I was the only person under the sun who disliked Denis Villeneuve's Dune.
Yeah. Whereas I did not mind the original. I kind of like the ones that they did on Sci-Fi a few years back.
Yeah, the Sci-Fi Channel two-parter was really good. Yeah, from like 2003 or so.
But I have zero interest to see it. That was the one book that my English teacher told me in 8th grade. He told me two things. One, take Spanish because that's going to be the big language of the world. And two, read Dune. I did take Spanish. I have never read Dune. I have no interest in reading Dune. So the movie, it's like, so I have no interest in seeing Dune.
Like I said, I watched Rebel Moon, which is a crappy version of Dune. It seems that way.
Honestly, Rebel Moon is better than Denis Villeneuve's Dune.
It's great visual, but story sucks.
The Ilio thing, I'll see a Pixar movie. I'm just not excited.
Fall Guy looks okay. Never watched
Fall Guy. I would want to see this more if I heard the theme song. The fact that I didn't hear it, I'm the unknown stunt man. That made Redford look so fine.
Emily Blunt is pretty cool, but it'd be great if it was Jonathan Krasinski.
Rhaegar, I am not a black pill for disliking Denis Villeneuve's Dune. I will tell you why I don't like Denis Villeneuve's Dune.
No, don't. Not now. Don't now. He just doesn't like it. He'll do a review.
Oh, Marvel, Finding Tony Stark.
All right.
What?
We got a movie called Finding Tony. I have no
what
this is.
No, it's not
Bishop.
him. It ain't him.
I know.
No, I have no idea. I got it. I have no idea. No excitement. But
That's like the What If episode. That totally was a Killmonger episode.
A Mad Max movie without Mad Max.
Okay, so here's the thing. You've got a movie called Furiosa.
Yeah.
And instead of going forward with the character who made her or the actress who made her popular, you go back and you say we're going to tell her story before that. That's
nobody cares.
Yeah, that's like listening and going, "Hey, they want a Furiosa movie," and not. It's like missing the mark while trying to do your best. Now, hopefully this is good. I'm not going to put it down. I'm not going to say it's going to be bad, but just because it's by George Miller. Miller's done all the Road Warrior films. So I have faith in this movie. But when you thought Furiosa was a good character, did you think, oh, I hope they get Anya Taylor-Joy next?
No.
To play?
I mean, to be fair, Anya Taylor-Joy wasn't really a quantity when the first one came out, so that's probably why no one was thinking that.
The point.
I didn't like
the point being is this is not who you were looking for. I think Anya Taylor-Joy is a great actress, but you know,
and George Miller does have the occasional dud in him. Like 3,000 Years of Longing is a movie I should have hypothetically loved because it's a George Miller genie movie, for God's sake. But God, that movie was insufferably dull.
What are you saying, Vink?
I was just trying to say that I'm agreeing with Undead Quinn. The last one with oh crap, what's his name? The guy who plays Venom.
Yeah,
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. I hated that one.
You are boring. Incommunist.
You didn't like Fury Road?
It was
say anything else, and maybe you've got.
It was not Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson made the role.
Mel Gibson's 90 years old.
I know. So you're doing a reboot of one of his characters.
It's a continuation.
You're making the character. You're not making a movie about Mel Gibson, who's supposed to be running around at 25.
When Mel
Gibson, got a character.
Yes.
Let the character live.
Yeah, like James Bond. For as much as we all love Sean Connery,
all these characters should be rebooted with new people.
Absolutely. Chris Pratt or somebody that age should have played Indiana Jones in that last movie if they weren't going to hook him up with. If they weren't actually going to go through with the script that was written, which was going to be Indiana Jones and oh my gosh, Short Round, where you could then continue the adventures with Short Round because he's young enough. No, if they weren't going to do that, then fucking forget about it. Put a new actor in there and let the characters go. Just like
what would have been even better is if what would have been even better is if Chris Pratt played Mutt, who was Indy's son from Indy 4. For all that we all cringe at Shia LaBeouf, you could easily recast Mutt as Chris Pratt, and it could have been the son of Indiana Jones instead of Indy 5.
Thank you for the super chat saying I am literally shaking. For what reasons? What are we doing?
Because Venkman said a stupid thing.
Dune, I have no interest in seeing Furiosa.
He probably agrees with me.
Say again?
He probably agrees with me because you're turning the character into a mantle.
No, well, it is
only in the sense that James Bond is a mantle. Because the thing about Mad Max is he's supposed to be a shapeless kind of semi-non-entity character. He's supposed to be a legend. He's supposed to be the road warrior.
Like
why let a character die if somebody can do the role properly?
Once Tom Cruise done, and then they start redoing the Mission Impossible reboots. Yeah,
it wasn't Mission Impossible was a remake.
I'm saying
they should have gotten Leonard Nimoy, even though he was 90 at the time.
I'm saying because Tom Cruise made these films popular what they are. Now you're going to take somebody else, reboot them.
Hey, we got to start at the beginning, bub. You got to. If you're saying,
why don't we just start doing this? Why don't we start doing original stuff instead of rebooting everything every 5 years?
I agree with that too. But if you're going to say they can't remake with a new character, and you bring up Mission and freaking Impossible, they remade that.
Yeah, but if you're going to make it better, sure, go ahead. It doesn't. The problem is you can't.
Yes, you can. They could have made. Are you going to tell me that damn near anything wouldn't have been better than that mess of a fucking thing they call an Indiana Jones movie that came out this year?
Every Superman movie they've done since the original has sucked.
Because that's more because nobody cares to understand Superman as a character.
Superman 2 was freaking
They write
awesome.
The powers instead of him as a person, and that's the big problem with Superman.
That's the only way I'll say you're wrong. Is Superman 1 was awesome and Superman 2 was awesome. And then
3 and 4.
Yeah.
I didn't even
but
know.
I will say Man of Steel is probably third place in my opinion.
The biggest problem with Henry Cavill's tenure as the character isn't actually Henry Cavill. It's that they never actually let him play the character Henry Cavill knew he should have been played.
Okay,
because
next
Henry
up.
Cavill was a massive fanboy, and they never let him actually play the character.
How are we feeling about this?
Best movie of the year.
I gotta tell you something, guys. I am jazzed for.
It's what Star Wars should have been. catering
my
to
gosh.
the fans.
That
What's his
I gotta
name?
tell you, man, Afterlife. I the more I watch Afterlife, the more I like it. And that little kid that played Egon's granddaughter,
Mackenzie something or
she nailed it all the way through.
Ghostbusters 4. Yeah, I'm excited for Ghostbusters 4.
The one part where I realized, holy shit, this girl's got talent was when she does the joke. What do you call a fish with no eyes? The delivery. Watch her body language, the way she delivers the line and everything. After I saw that, I went,
she's like a little Elizabeth.
I'm especially excited because from what I hear, just like Afterlife brought Gozer back, we're getting Vigo back allegedly.
Well, this is post Gozer, what they're saying.
Right.
Okay, so we're getting some comments here, and let's see. I liked all 4 Indiana Jones movies. Not sorry. Rock on, man. Seriously, if that's you, yeah. MK is also saying he's excited for Ghostbusters. Hey, it's that guy who fights the zombies. What?
Yeah. After he finishes this list, I want to go back to an earlier
Bianca.
comment.
Okay, go on ahead, Maranya. What was the comment?
Okay, I'm scrolling back up to find it. It was about Falcon and Winter Soldier were stretched out too much. Falcon and Snowman, as you know it.
Yes.
They say it was stretched out too much. Ethereal Dragon said that. I freaking disagree.
It was borked from conception, I'm afraid. There was no way that as written it would have been good, no matter which way they cut it.
Let me set my case.
The
reason I say it was not too long. It was not long enough, because what they should have done, instead of giving Loki 2 freaking seasons, they should have given Falcon and the Snowman 2 seasons, because they should have had
Loki hates.
Loki is great in small doses. But let me finish this case before we
let Maranya have her say before we interrupt.
Yes. But basically, what they should have done is had the first season of Falcon and Snowman, or Winter Soldier, however you want to say it, be the buddy cop. People were complaining all the movies. Oh, Falcon doesn't get any development. Falcon doesn't get anything. He just did. They had the golden opportunity to do just that. Have Falcon be, his own man, and have him interact with Bucky, because they both were Cap's buddies, and Falcon was the modern buddy, Bucky was his buddy from the beginning. They could have had the buddy cop movie for a series, and then they could have had the subplot running about, the government might want to actually have another Captain America, and at the end you have John Walker show up. He's going to be the new Captain America, and Falcon and Winter Soldier looking at each other going, what the Ever 11F? And then season 2 would have been what they switched into this one show about all the new Captain America thing and all the terrorists and whatnot. They could have had that stretched out to season 2, and at the end, if you want to make Falcon Cap or what have you, then you could have done. But then you would have seen the progression from the character of being his own man, and he decides at the end, yes, I'll accept this honor, and I will do it to honor.
Go back. I wasn't talking about that movie.
See, I disagree. I disagree with you on only one point, which is I don't think that anyone should have become the next Captain America. I like the idea of them being buddy cops, but I like the idea of them basically going, neither of us can be Steve, but maybe together we can fill the hole that Steve left.
Okay,
so Godzilla and Kong rise together. I'm wanting to move past this subject. We dropped far.
Well,
I know. I was just trying to talk about the movie, and Marani wanted to go back to 20 minutes ago.
I was trying to do it because I wanted to say it again.
I know, and
steamroll over me. That's why I didn't
there you go. Yeah, and you did, but you said your point.
I've said my point, and I'm good. I just wanted to get that out.
We all know that it wasn't a great show.
I wanted to talk more about Ghostbusters, the one movie I actually care about than everything else. But you're like, no, let's do everything else.
Let's go back to Ghostbusters.
We'll go back to Ghostbusters, okay? But
yeah.
I can't tell you how so disinterested I am in anything Falcon and the Snowman, Cap, whatever they're saying. I just
I guess it
there's
was a
no
snore.
there's a lack of
I'm not interested in that movie either, to be honest.
there is that might be the one time I skip in superhero movie. I am just so not interested.
With regards to Ghostbusters 4, and like I was saying earlier, the rumor is that just like Ghostbusters 3 brought back Gozer, the rumor is that Ghostbusters 4 is going to bring back Vigo the Carpathian. I'm really psyched for that.
Quinn, I did shave. Maybe you need a shave. And who's Fog? If you're going to address me, don't butcher my name.
The comic Fog. Yeah, we could see him as just a little foggy.
Where are these movies airing at once they're out of theaters? Where are they airing at?
This is March.
No, I'm talking about where are
well, this is a Paramount this is
okay. Then I can see it on Paramount Plus. Okay,
it's a theater movie. Yes.
No, I'm just saying,
it's going to be what she's talking about. What streaming service after it's in theaters.
Because I may not be able to get out to see the movies because of
it may be a while before it goes there. Who knows? I mean, eventually it'll be on Vudu before it goes to Paramount.
The way they've been doing it, it's like maybe 2 or 3 months if it's a hit.
Yeah. Okay. That's why I'm
as far as this movie, what I've been seeing about it has been really great. They're bringing back Slimer.
I want to see this.
I've been seeing Paul Rudd in a Ghostbusters outfit with a proton pack.
Oh, Paul Rudd!
I've been asked that since the crappy 2016 shit, whatever the hell it was. We talked about
there is a 2016 movie.
Yeah, just like there's no Falcon the Snowman.
No, that.
Unfortunately, that has to exist because they are doubling down on it with a 4th Captain America movie.
You know what? Okay, we're gonna move on here, but I will say this: Falcon and Snowman doesn't have to exist the same way as the sequels don't have to exist, nor do the prequels. After it comes out in theaters and it goes, your personal movie shelf or your personal watch time is yours. All these things where it's like, oh my gosh, they ruined this and they ruined that. Nope, that is all up to you from here on in. Eternity, blah blah blah, yada yada. How can
I mean, it's obviously going to crater because no one's interested. But what I mean is that they're basing another movie on it. Was all I was referring to.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Godzilla vs Kong looks pretty cool. But I don't. Like I said.
Okay, we're gonna talk about that one now.
All right. Yeah, because we skipped over it.
Okay.
I saw the last one. The last one was okay. And the problem is that you got the stupid kids again. See? And
I get a little. You do have to have that human element, but you have to have interesting humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want them just fighting. I want Godzilla jump through the air.
Apparently, this time I saw the preview. They're teaming up to fight something else.
Yeah, the other monster.
Yeah, which I really like that, especially because they set up Ghidorah being a problem in Kingdom of Monsters, which I think is the best one in the new the Monarch verse, I guess is what we're calling it. Not for any small reason because it was Michael Dougherty involved with it, and he is one of my favorite underappreciated creatives in Hollywood today, Michael Dougherty.
I'll tell you what, give me big ass monsters fighting in a city. I'm good. I love King Kong.
Mm-hmm.
I love the original. I love the 1970s when I was younger. I've grown out of that. I love freaking King Kong Lives when I was a kid.
You could literally just have the story of them fighting. You don't need to have a lab drama about this person. Did do this, whatever. I don't care about your past trauma. Let's see the freaking monsters.
You're right.
The biggest problem isn't even having the human characters, it's the ratio of monsters to human characters.
Yep.
For some reason, they keep focusing on the human element instead of focusing on the human element reacting to, holy shit, there are kaiju-sized monsters everywhere. Why the fuck isn't that the story?
So Disney Plus, they're doing a thing about the behind-the-scenes making of Death Stranding. If you've never played the game, you're probably not going to be interested in this.
Okay, yeah, I have no idea what that is. I was just looking.
Death Stranding. It's about a guy connecting the world, post-apocalyptic world, by delivering FedEx boxes.
Okay. By the way, is this hashtag milkshake the movie?
Probably.
This kind of looks. Okay. I know I've gone off a little bit, and I went off on the freaking word, and I went up, but I've got. What the do women have against eyebrows these days?
I don't know.
Seriously,
So-
Maranya, you're the woman of the group. What the
All right.
what's wrong with modern day women?
Let me look. I got to full screen that to see what you're talking about. Oh wow.
You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 definitely with painted eyebrows. This might be real, but I'm doubting it. But
oh no, there's only they're either horribly tweezed or
this
or
is drawn
whacked.
on. I mean,
Or
this is
whacked.
where the eyebrow's supposed to be.
Oh.
It's way the fuck up here.
yeah. That's like Whoopi Goldberg with no eyebrows.
What's with the anti-male stuff? I don't care about their eyebrows.
And look at the
Well,
freaking eyes on
because
this.
feminism, but yeah.
Oh, my
Finding
God,
Love isn't really about him. Oh, dear Lord.
This is a movie that would deserve to be roasted. Just
I
about
think
the premise.
we need to see that one twice.
So
Here-
it's-
here-
so
here's-
basically-
Premise.
here's the question, Anglantine.
Huh.
If that is Milkshake the movie, who did they cast as us? I wonder.
Yeah.
Well, also
They look like cartoon characters, but not
that
in a good
movie
way.
kind of it's Finding Love's on by him.
Uh-huh.
I think it's going to be an LGBTQ movie.
I think you might just be right.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
King Kong gets lightning power. Oh, that would be kind of cool.
Kevin
If this-
Costner is
Okay, so yeah, I was about to say we've got Kevin Costner in a Western. I'm in.
This
I
looks
am
to be like a Jonah Hex type movie.
wait, is he bringing hell with him? Oh, sorry, that's the other guy.
Yeah, that's Kurt Russell. But you look, Kevin Costner over the last 15 years has turned himself into the elderly statesman, and you put him in a cowboy hat and boots, he's making a good movie.
Yeah,
I'm very
he-
happy
he-
for
he-
you. It's not the kind of movie I will ever see, probably.
No, yeah, it's just not your cup of tea. I get it. Okay, what is?
It's a remake of
Oh,
it's a remake of The Bodyguard in a Western.
this is the animated movie about imaginary friends, which
Steve
is
Carell,
what
Louis Gossett Jr.
IF stands for, imaginary friends. Yeah,
Ooh.
I've
Ryan
seen
Reynolds
the
and John
preview.
Krasinski.
Yeah, I've seen the preview. It looks funny.
But
John Krasinski is.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who everybody hates.
Speaking of movies about imagination, has anyone else seen the trailer for that movie Imaginary? Or I
right
think
there.
that's what it's called.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
next.
next
That looks pretty good too. I don't know why Hollywood has decided imaginary friends are the new IP to be mined, but while we're mining the concept of imaginary friends, can I get a Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends adaptation at some point?
I
Says-
appreciate
That I would actually want to see.
Well, this
go
is
ahead.
made by Blumhouse, so it might
yeah,
be good.
it's a Shyamalan film, right?
I don't know.
Isn't that what-
Is it M Night? I didn't know it was M Night.
I thought I saw something that said it was.
From Blumhouse, the
No,
producers.
it's
I think,
directed
are
by
nice.
Jeff Wadlow. I'm wrong.
I saw the trailer. The trailer for it is really good, and like I said, as long as we're mining the concept of imaginary friends, I want a Foster's Home adaptation.
Okay. I'm worried about this because Pixar sequels are very rarely good, and
Never
by
saw
that
the
I mean
original.
I honestly
Almost
cannot
never.
think of a good.
Oh, they're
Oh,
really
you-
leaning certain elements from what I've heard,
So-
and I cannot substantiate it. They're going to lean into certain elements that would trigger especially trigger the black pills.
Uh-huh.
So how long ago did the first one come out?
Yeah, it was
10, 12 years
5 or
ago?
6 No, it wasn't 10.
That's
Oh my
actually-
God.
No,
I
it was like 2017-ish. I want to say
5 or 6 years
2018.
yet. If not, yeah.
What were you saying,
like-
Maranya?
I was going to say it's like 5 or 6 years ago
Yeah.
for this. For the first one.
Yeah, I don't see it being good because none of the Pixar sequels have been good.
What about Incredibles 2? Which I haven't seen yet.
It's,
But
well, you know, okay, it
Was
is
fine.
passable. It's passable because it is Incredibles 1 just remade with the mom going out instead of the dad.
I will say I did like the stuff with Jack's powers and Edna being like the best godmother ever.
Nobody's
Ray-
gonna talk
Rhaegar
about
says-
this movie.
Rhaegar says because belief in demonic possession and demonic activity has risen in the last several years. Dalton.
Oh, yeah, actually
Which,
it
to be
has.
frank,
Yeah.
looking at the life these days seems possible.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have ISS or ISIS. And
ISIS.
it turns out that in space they can hear you scream. A stellar ensemble led by Ariana DeBose.
Watch Gravity.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it looks like. But apparently, well, Earth is on fire down below, so that might be something.
is that
I
Earth?
haven't seen a preview on this. Maybe we should start reviewing previews again. There,
I am straight down the middle ambivalent. towards this concept. Like I don't have any positive negative associations.
Okay,
with it
thank
all.
you for. By the way, absolutely. I don't agree with Incredibles 2. Cars 3 was okay. Cars 2 sucked, but you are absolutely right, and thank you for pointing it out. Toy Story 2, 3, and 2 and 3, were really good.
So
4,
2 was fine. I thought 3 was emotionally manipulative shit.
So this movie is called International Space Station. When there's a war breaking out, World War breaking out, everybody on board at the space station, they're fighting to take control of it.
So it's Elysium. It's basically Elysium.
Yeah.
No, because Elysium is people trying to get up to a spaceship to heal themselves. That's
Well, yeah, but you get what I'm getting at. It's Elysium from the perspective of the space station, probably this time.
All right, so let's move on to the next. We've got Kingdom of the Planet. Oh, yes. I've loved these new Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, the Planet of the Apes prequels have been fire the entire time.
I saw that one with what's his name, James Franco, and that was it.
It has been such a great series. Kraven the Hunter.
You can skip that.
Skip.
Okay,
So
look,
Morbius 2, Harrier Boogaloo.
we cannot escape it because this is what we talk about.
Wait a minute. Aaron Taylor, the guy who I wanted to have as Quicksilver again, they're putting him as Kraven?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
And they're
should be
doing a
Kraven
Madam
is
Web
Russell
movie,
Crowe.
but they're not using the Madam Web that I grew up with, which was the understudy to the Beyonder.
They should call this Son of Kraven.
Yes.
I don't know.
Literally, because Russell Crowe is Kraven, and he talks like Kraven, looks like Kraven, but he's not. Yeah, he's not Kraven the Hunter.
But he's not marketable right now. You see, so
Anybody remember the Tom Cruise movie Oblivion? Yeah, I like that one.
Great movie.
Eric and Boyd, I've not watched any new POTA movies. POTA.
Unless you're
Planet of the
Planet
Apes.
of the Apes.
Yeah.
Unless you're not a fan of that.
I've loved the Planet of the Apes series. So I mean, hey, if it's not
The prequels have been really good, actually.
And then we've got I Am In for any Kung Fu Panda. There has not been a bad one.
I didn't even know that they made anything past one.
Yeah, they have.
You've got some catching up to do. The sequels actually consistently improve. It seems like the first one was a surprise, and then the second one was a massive improvement on that, and the third one was a massive improvement on that still.
We really do need to do some preview reviews because I have no idea. Like some of these movies are coming out. It's like I don't get. That's cool. Okay, I just noticed the smoke's going up, but it's creating two faces about to kiss.
Ooh.
Right. So there you go. Okay. Next up, we have Land of the Bad with Liam Hemsworth, Russell Crowe, Luke Hemsworth, Ricky Whittle, and Milo Ventimiglia. Wait.
Yeah.
Wasn't that like Balky from 70s?
No.
This is us.
He was Heroes.
Oh no, Vilo he's Sylvester Stallone's son in the Rocky movie.
I'm glad that Ricky Whittle rebounded after American Gods died a slow and painful death after season 1.
This is kind of weird because you're getting discount Hemsworth, but you've got Russell Crowe and Milo Ventimiglia.
You got two.
Not a big fan of Liam, but
this looks like the quintessential fun B movie, and I'm kind of here for it.
Lift.
Lift. Is this his bid to be a dramatic actor?
No, it's gonna be another comedy. I guarantee it.
Okay, Heist to 40,000. I'll watch it. I think the kid's funny.
Man from Nantucket. It's gonna be the same thing, probably.
Let's see. Next up is Lisa Frankenstein. I've never heard of this.
I didn't hear it. What is it? What is
Catherine
the premise?
Newton. Okay.
What is the premise?
Cole Sprouse.
Dig up someone special. So I don't know. I have anybody.
Catherine Newton is the one from Totally Killer.
I assume a mixture of I, Frankenstein and Warm Bodies from almost a decade ago now. Shit, I'm old.
There was one that Alexander Daddario, and it was like Rachel Green, and then you had the dude that died. The guy was in Odd Thomas, the one that got crushed by his car, Jeep. They were in a movie together.
The one who played Chekhov in the Kelvin timeline movies,
where his girlfriend comes back from the dead. She's a zombie.
Yeah, I remember.
It looks kind of like that.
All right,
also kind of reminds me of Making Mr. Right from back in the day.
Madam Web.
That's what it sounds like.
50 Shades of Madam Web.
Nah.
See, here's my problem with this Madam Web. Apart from the fact that it seems like Sony continues to do the throwback to the early, the 90s style of superhero movie making, which is annoying in and of itself. But I mean, it worked once for Venom, and that's about it. But here's my other problem with Madam Web, and this one I consider to be more important. The Madam Web that I and most of my generation grew up with is not the street level character. The Madam Web that I and my entire generation grew up with was the Spider-Man the Animated Series Madam Web, who was a cosmic entity who was an apprentice to the Beyonder. Why the frick aren't they making that movie? I want that movie.
Also,
and who was
street level costs less.
Who was also voiced by Joan Lee. By the way,
the villain in this, so is a guy in a black Spider-Man costume. But the problem is, it's a guy who was going around and was killing all the spiders.
Yeah,
he never wore a costume though. He has a whole family of them. They revealed it was
it looks like shit.
This is a movie that does not need to be made.
Or very rarely do I say that.
Or if it's going to be made, make it the way
Moreland was his name. Read Spider-Man the other series.
Okay, next up we have Mean. Oh, good lord!
Mean Girls. Oh, jeez.
I've seen the preview for it. This is trying so hard.
They're trying to make fetch happen, and it's not going to happen.
Mean Girls.
That describes both the movie and
Maranya, what are you trying to say?
I was gonna say Mean Girls. Is this gonna be a movie about the Whisper Network?
No. This is your reboots that I said I don't want.
Again, I would ask who was going to play us if that were the case.
Well,
someday, like 50 years from now, they probably will make a bunch of movies based on that stuff.
That's a budget Heather Antos right there.
Dalton, I will get Benedict Cumberbatch to play you.
I would shoot you before you even made that a thing, Venkman.
I'm telling you right now,
straight through the head.
This looks horrible. Horrible.
What's the point?
I've seen the preview for it.
What's the point of it?
I have no idea. I saw the preview and it was.
Wasn't there a reboot of Heathers as well a couple years back?
Yeah, there was. I think.
At least that was like a musical. It was based on the stage play. Maybe that's what they're going to do here.
Yeah, no, that is what they're planning on doing is Mean Girls the musical. Okay,
here we go. This is one for us, kids. You want to talk about political films? This is one for us. Miller's Girl. So, Jenna Ortega plays a student who gets close with the teacher, and then #MeToo's him. But people understand that no, that shit didn't happen. So she becomes a bit of a pariah. So it is a film. By the preview, it looks like it's going to go in the right direction. It's talking about false flag.
False accusations, yeah.
Now, granted, that's what the preview is telling me. It may be one of those things where it's a switch. Bro, I've never seen Mean Girls, the old one. It's actually pretty good. I think Jenna Ortega is secretly based. I really do too, by the way.
She seems to actually like the fans, which is a miracle in today's
Maranya
Hollywood.
has been trying to say something.
I was gonna say who was the one that was in the original Mean Girls? Wasn't that what's her name?
Lohan.
That's it. I can't remember. I can never remember her name.
And then who was the blonde? The one who was trying to say that so fat. Sure.
Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
Rachel McAdams. That's what it was. Yeah.
All right, MK is asking, hey, dude, what about Beverly Hills Cop 4? Have you seen the trailer? Yes, I did. We talked about it a little earlier. It looks pretty solid. And I agree with you. I think it does. Anyone who doesn't like Madam Web is a misogynist. This is a truth.
I'm quite certain they will say so.
I'm a misogynist.
Yes, all of us are. All right. Night Swim. I've seen the preview on this one as well. It looks interesting.
Part 2. I was kidding.
What?
Is it another one of those underwater claustrophobic bottle movies?
It's a underwater ghost film. I'm okay with it. I'm interested. I want to see how it goes. Ordinary Angels, have not seen anything.
What is it supposed to be?
I wonder what happened to her. Seriously. Okay, bring it on in. It's by the guy who did Jesus Revolution that was this year, and that was good. And Wonder, which was
saw a trailer for that a while back.
Yeah.
She ends up becoming like I guess the love interest, with Ellen Richardson.
It's got your boy and Hilary Swank. Yeah, I'll see that. I don't mind a good romantic film if it's
Hilary Swank just gets. I don't know why, but Hilary Swank gets better looking as she gets older.
I know, right? When she was younger, you remember that episode of The Office where it's like, is she pretty or not? Is she hot or not? Yeah, that's a good question for her because sometimes no, sometimes yes. All right, next up we have Orion in the Dark. I've never heard of this.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
It looks like an interesting.
Hello,
like
darkness, my new friend.
Yeah. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Man, Blumhouse puts work coming out of a horror film. Yeah, they tend to make $5 million movies and boom.
Blumhouse is the new full moon features, and I'm kind of here for it.
Something called Scrambled, and this is I can't see who this is.
Oh, wait a minute.
Sex by excuse by age 35 says.
Oh, I think
basically fertilization. She wants to have a kid.
Yeah, they're talking about we have kids. They're women. They're
I could read between the lines.
The girl's a slut, so now she wants a baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm seeing this because of the poster. I don't care.
It reminds me of there was a manga there where the guy would kill people and then he would put and then they'd plant flowers out of their skulls.
Oh.
I've never heard of this, so
that's an alien skull, or that's an alien body.
I was just saying, like MP Psycho was the name of the manga. I think it was.
Look up Jason Blum with Ben Shapiro. 7 years, good comic. Okay, I might have seen that. Alrighty, so yeah, I don't know. Just based on the poster alone, I would check that out. Where are we? We're right here with something called Self-Reliance. The movie is this that guy from
the new girl and What's We Cops?
Yeah,
and he also plays Spider-Man in Across the Spider-Verse.
Okay, is he in what's that? No, he's a different guy than the one that's in Always Sunny. Okay, I don't know what this is about, but
the thing is that you'll get rewarded a bunch of money if you can survive not being killed, I guess, like for a day or whatever, 2 or whatever it was. You have so many limited time, and then so there's other contestants. There's other contestants, and him and Anna Faris, or not Anna, what's her name? Anna Kendrick. Came to team up together. So basically, the whole thing is that if you're alone, you're up for a game, but if you have somebody with you, they can't kill you.
Okay. Let's see. A bunch of people have to survive the night trying to kill each other. Whoever survives gets money. And people team up.
It looks really good.
So
it's Most Dangerous Game meets Skin Game. Okay.
Rat Race.
Something called The Spaceman. I'm in. It's got Adam Sandler. I'll watch it. That is just me.
You are free to make that choice. It's not the choice I would have made, but you are free to make it.
The truth is I have watched every Adam Sandler movie since the very beginning.
Some
of them not so good.
But Rank is the guess of the.
Yeah.
I like some of his movies. Just I have to be in the right mood to watch his stuff. Otherwise,
I get it.
What's the premise of that movie? Because it looks like
he's in a spacesuit on Earth, so I don't know.
I have a feeling he's immunocompromised for some reason because or there's viruses or something.
It was More Than School. Saint Virja. That looks Latino. I don't know.
I don't know, but
it looks like it comes from Terrifier 3. Guys, have you seen Terrifier 2?
I have. It was. I believe it was on my best list last year.
It was. Yeah, mine too. It was in my top 10.
So rumor has it Chris Jericho's going to be in this one.
Yeah.
Wrestler.
Has Adam Sandler done a single good movie since going to Yes, he did. As a matter of fact, one of my favorite movies this year is an Adam Sandler film. It's mainly produced by him. It stars his daughter. But it was it's called You Are So Not Going to My Bar Mitzvah. It was really good. It's a coming of age story.
I'm gonna have to watch it now that you recommended it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Terrifier 2 is one of the most exhausting horror films I've ever seen.
But it's badass, so guys.
Yeah. It's like watching the action equivalent would be the one that The Raid. It's just so much going on all the time that you're tired afterwards.
The Raid was fun,
and it's independently funded, which makes it all the sweeter.
What was it? What was it that they come at night? Or there was the one with the hatchets. It was kind of like The Raid. There was a guy. It was basically a former triad trying to protect this girl. And
I know which one you're talking about. I think you're right.
I love that one because it was just good. It's just one guy versus a bunch of people with freaking hatchets.
Rhaegar, the Terrifier movies, especially number 2. Fucks Saw in the ass.
Yeah.
I would put it a softer way, but
And
there's
Jigsaw
no way
says,
to
"Yes,
put
Daddy, harder in the Senate."
Oh no, and then absolutely after
Well,
the Terrifier does that,
It's a good
he
thing
buries
we're deleting this after.
No, we're not deleting it.
Alrighty, then we've got something called The Tiger's Apprentice by Paramount.
Yeah, I'm with Rhaegar. I'm not into this gore fest. I need an actual story.
Oh, there's a story there. It's 2.5 hours long. They make you care about the characters before it gets to that.
Terrifier kicks all of the ass, guys.
It really does.
The Tiger's Apprentice to me looks like it's going to be based on the Chinese zodiac with all the animals.
Yeah,
and that actually that I think is an interesting concept.
No, thanks. I want Jackie Chan Adventures.
I was literally just about to say Jackie Chan Adventures. That show was so much better than it had any right under the sun to be.
But yeah, that I like this. It's an interesting new concept. It's a twist on, the apprentices thing.
Who would want?
I like that concept. I would, if I could see it, I would go see it.
Who would want different talismans that give you different powers? Like if you grab a gorilla, you get the strength. It's just awesome.
It was the ox for strength, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I wanted to grow up and be Uncle though. Uncle was my aspirational character as a kid.
Can Africa save the West? No.
No. Africa can barely save itself. Okay, let's see. Next up, we have the underdogs.
Unbankable. Is that any Marvel property they're saying?
No.
So this looks like Daybreak.
Yes, Smokey.
And the same event, same strain of Daybreak.
Well, one thing I know is that Snoop Dogg is not the picture of quality in movies. The only thing I saw really with him in it that I liked was Starsky and Hutch.
Oh, I was gonna say Old School. He does a concert.
Was he in that? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, but he wasn't playing a character in that.
No.
Snoop Dogg looks younger since laying back on the weed.
True. Well, yeah, you're not putting smoke in your body.
No. Okay, let's see. What do we got? Unsung Hero for King and Country. This looks like that Captain, what's his name? One Family's Journey from Down Under to Center Stage.
Captain Underpants, you mean?
I'll have to see more about it. Some of these I want to watch the previews.
Royal Tenenbaums or Die Away with
It looks like an updated Partridge Family.
Next up,
it does actually.
Okay. Who doesn't want to watch a movie starring Dolph Lundgren and Kelsey Grammer?
Kelsey Grammer? I'm in for it. Man.
Kelsey Grammer is cool.
Wanted Man. Okay. If Kelsey Grammer is playing a badass, why not?
If I live long enough to be old, I hope Kelsey Grammer plays me in a movie.
And Weak Layers, it's all down here. I got to tell you something, and this may be a confession of sorts, but I don't want to watch a lot of kids anymore, especially modern day.
Mm-hmm.
They
make them adults.
What the fuck is going on? I'm just trying to close it.
It's not just you though, Anglantine, because I'm in my 20s and even I'm sitting there looking like I don't recognize any of these people. I don't know this actor culture anymore.
It's kind of like, what was the other one back in the Cuba Gooding Jr. with the Snow Dogs or what it was, Snow
Dogs is cool. Snow Dogs is cool.
I was just too old for that, and it just seems like everything is Air Bud now.
Yeah,
because
Air Bud was the franchise in the 90s, as I'm sure you remember.
I'll be honest
sure,
with you.
but everything's a copy of that, though.
Yeah,
go ahead, Maranya.
I'll be honest with you. Those movies, they may be suited for kids, but they're a guilty pleasure of mine because sometimes I don't want to watch all the intense drama. I don't want to watch all the shoot 'em ups, smash 'em ups.
God forbid a movie should be fun sometimes.
Yeah, they're fun.
Go watch the Golden Age ones. Those are better.
Kelsey's return and Frasier has been entertaining, says Smokey Collects.
Oh, that's right. It did. The reboot did happen, and I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna have to do that.
And MK recommends a movie called The Invisible to you as well. Smokey Dog. Okay, yep, we read that one. And I don't know what One More Thing is about, Smokey, but
that is a reference to possibly the greatest cartoon that followed an action star ever, Jackie Chan Adventures.
If you're gonna watch anything this year, go watch the Monk's Christmas movie.
The what? The Monk. Okay, yeah, okay.
As in, what's his name? Shalhoub?
Tony Shalhoub, Adrian Monk.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess there were some things that are looking pretty good. I really do want to watch some trailers. this whole thing where we're not watching Central TV anymore, you don't see trailers as much unless you seek them out.
I was talking to Eric, like I said, watching that show Reacher that's on season 2, it just blows anything away. That's in theaters.
Yeah,
or
you've been enjoying that?
It's awesome.
Yeah,
Alan Richardson, the guy that plays Reacher, really needs to. They need to just sign him up for a bunch of things. He's awesome.
Well, he said he wants to play Batman.
I'm okay with that.
That would. I mean, I would honestly rather have him as a Superman, but okay.
And I said no. Give us Hawkman with Robert Venditti script.
I would.
Yeah, honestly, since I can't get my Pierce Brosnan Dr. Fate back, give me a new JSA. Do it.
Yep. They kind of are giving you like a JLI vibes though with that Superman Legacy, so you might get something similar to that.
I mean, I still say that if they were smart, they would have kept with the Black Adam continuity and done a Dr. Fate prequel trilogy starring Matt Smith as a young Kent Nelson and directed by guy who did Bumblebee, Travis Knight, and written by Paul King. That would have been how I would have done it.
I just want Alan Richardson as Carter Hall and let him be Golden Age Hawkman and kill his enemies, kill people.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see blood splats when he hits somebody. It's like, oh, it goes in the heart.
Yeah, and again, Matt Smith as a younger Kent Nelson, please.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. I'm fine. Maybe that's another video to cast everybody. All right. Let's see. It is 2:39. Do we have another topic? How long are we going to keep this going?
I'm trying to think.
No. Everyone have a great holiday. God bless and take care, says Eric and Boyd. In all honesty, I think that's what we should be saying too.
Yep.
All right.
I was going to say before we go back, we were talking all about the Phase 4 whatever movies.
Mm-hmm.
Eternals.
Yeah.
Thor 4 and Shang-Chi. I highly recommend them if you want to go to sleep.
Oh.
I
don't know if 4 would put you to sleep. The rage,
it did for me.
The rage that would build up.
Eternals did literally everything wrong. It was literally, let's take everything that works about Guardians 1 and 2 and worked in Thor Ragnarok and do the opposite, even though this is the most Jack Kirby of Jack Kirby concepts.
I would. I was thinking about what's coming out for comic book movies though.
There really aren't any.
Oh no, there's a lot of breaks taking DC to build up, and
but
Marvel is going to be reconsidering.
Yeah, the only thing that's coming out for Marvel next year is Deadpool 3, and the only thing that's coming out from DC next year is Joker 2. And I'm actually looking forward to Joker 2.
I thought there was another Marvel movie coming out next year.
No, they moved it because Marvel bombed horribly.
Yeah, because I said I'm looking forward to Deadpool 3, and then I imagine that's probably be the last time we're going to see Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. You know,
they would be spectacularly stupid not to keep him as Deadpool when they reboot the universe to bring in the X-Men to the mainline universe.
Yeah, it might not be their decision.
But Wolverine.
Well, that's just maybe. But for the love of God, if I don't care how much money you have to bribe Ryan Reynolds with, if you have a Deadpool who is not Ryan Reynolds, you insta fail for most of the people who would watch that movie.
Like I'm thinking like, okay, I'm looking forward to the Deadpool 3 movie. My thing is Wolverine gonna wear his mask? If you're just going with a costume and he's not with a mask, that's an F you to fans.
Yeah, actually have him look like Wolverine this time, and actually have the X-Men characters be comic booky. God damn it, please.
Yeah, you want to work in a suit? Well, apparently Superman works in a suit.
Y'all are demanding. They'll probably be, both be good since neither are connected to MCU, DCU. You never know. I still haven't seen Thor: Love and Chocolate, and I'm scared to watch it. I think you are taking the proper. That's good.
I thought it was Thor: Love and Chocolate Thunder.
Do you have a comic book room, Maranya?
Do I have a comic book room? No, I do not. This is my office.
Did you see that Back to the Future 4 fan-made trailer? No, actually, I don't like fan-made.
Which one? There's a bunch.
especially the ones that try to make you think that there's an actual film coming out. Usually,
there's tons
the
of
reason
that.
because I could see behind the wires, like they show. I know the movies where all the scenes come from, and I don't like them.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they should be. I never would say anything like that. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah,
I
it's like-
remember back in like 2009, it must have been, someone made a fan-made Doctor Strange movie trailer, and they actually used footage from my favorite comfort food movie, The Ninth Gate, in it, and I was just like, oh my god.
Oh,
I
hold
wish
on.
this was a thing. It's not a thing, but I really, really desperately wish it were a thing.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding, because the ones I'm talking about are where they clip scenes from other movies and they make you think, okay, that I don't like. But if somebody wrote a script and made their own trailer for their version of what it would be, then fine. I like things like that. But for Superman and Batman, there was a Superman and Batman trailer. Somebody did a Wonder Woman trailer that looked awesome. Somebody, I believe, did an Aliens. They're very creative, and I do enjoy those. I don't like the ones that just take scenes from other movies and put them in.
Someone made a short film version of 24-Hour Diner from the Sandman, or 24 Hours from the Sandman, and it was better than the entirety of the Netflix adaptation. And I was just like, why couldn't this have been a thing?
I was going through Instagram earlier, just flipping through and just browsing it, and then I came across. I forgot about that. The high school did a play of the movie Alien, from 1990. It was 19. What was it? 2017. I think that's when they did. It was a high school. So we got so much that it was a high school budget, so they all recycled materials. Apparently, the Ripley, or not Ripley, but the guy who created it,
Ridley Scott
saw this, donated him $5,000 to help him fund it so they could do it, and it was so good that Sigourney Weaver showed up, and just they guess you gotta watch this if you can find it. It's I saw it on Instagram, but like they're showing scenes, and like this was like Hollywood studio, like level of like awesome how they did it for a stage play.
DeBizzle, I completely agree. They should do a Blue Devil movie, and it should be a prelude to Sentinels of Magic as a movie. I would so watch the crap out of that.
Now he's gonna hate any version of Blue Devil that doesn't do that.
Blue Devil from Swamp Thing. Bring back that character. Bring back and just work on that tone.
What a great TV show, and canceled right away.
Right?
That TV show was freaking awesome. And they're like, "What do we do this TV show that is absolutely fantastic in every way, shape, or form? Critics are loving it. Cancel. Okay."
I still can't get over the fact that they never put Matt Ryan in a new Constantine movie, and they what I would have done with a Constantine movie starring Matt Ryan. I would have gotten Guy Ritchie, and I would have told him to do what if a supernatural superhero movie, but train spotting. Go. That's the Constantine movie that I would have liked to have seen. And how you could have even done an adaptation of what was the fifth one, Dangerous Habits.
So that's the thing, was that Paramount is rumored to be being bought out or merging with Discovery. So Dave Zaslav would be in charge of shows like Tulsa King and Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm scared to see what he decides to shelve.
I also heard that Universal is planning on buying Warner Brothers.
I thought it was Universal and Warner, and
yeah, that's what I had heard.
I thought it was Universal and Paramount.
What I had heard was Universal and Warner Brothers, which honestly, given how well Universal seems to be handling things, I would definitely welcome that at this point, because Warner Brothers does not know how to. They have all the coolest IPs, and yet they have not the first clue of how to use them.
They can't even make Hellboy work.
Well, I mean, but they should have just given all the money to Ron Perlman and Guillermo del Toro and finally done a Hellboy 3. Like,
yeah, Blue Devil was in there. He was played by the guy from 102. Was 90210? Ian Ziering?
Yeah.
Sharknado?
Oof.
Ian Zierling.
Yeah, Ian Zierling, whatever. But very, very good actor. Very good representation of the character.
Yep.
Kept the humor with a little bit of scariness.
and it died.
Yeah, on the Vine. It was so good. It was such a great show. You know what? As a matter of fact, talking about great shows, let's pour one out for Stargirl, which was awesome.
Definitely.
At the very least, they're giving Superman and Lois a final season, so hopefully they can end that.
They can wrap it up properly.
Yeah,
it might be the end of television shows for me. I mean, it all depends when the Rookie ends and with Reacher keeps going. I don't know. Like,
yeah, I haven't really gotten into a new show for like I watched Castlevania Nocturne because the original Castlevania show was so good.
I am okay if they do shows where it's like one season and it's awesome and they just let it lie. I saw that Miss Davis show. I don't think it needs to go on. I just don't. I think it's fine with one season, you know.
Yeah, define a season.
Miss Maisel, you mean?
Well, whatever is it 6 episodes? Whatever they decide that first episode or season is. If it's good and it tells a complete story, okay.
They
fine.
need basically that was the problem I saw with all like the Marvel shows. Everybody was kvetching that WandaVision was too long, so they stuck. Now they're going the 6 episode formula. It's like.
I completely disagree. They should have doubled the episode count for that.
Well, I'm just let me go through my theory here. What they should do, yes, is use the amount of episodes necessary to tell a story without stretching it or compressing it. Because let's see, there were a few shows that were actually too compressed. They needed at least an episode or two more to tell the story. Mm-hmm. And some of the shows, like She-Hulk, could have definitely. I could make
been
that
done in 4 episodes and had
I could
all the relevant things.
I could have made a 4 episode season easily with a lot of edits, and it would have been perfect.
Yeah, like WandaVision easily could have been a 13 episode season, and honestly, I would have preferred it go a little bit longer because I remember the days where 13 episodes was half a season.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
But they really should have had those extra 4 or 5 episodes to actually pad out the stuff that they crammed up in the last episode and also make it something that wasn't a complete and utter FU to the fans, cough, Ralph Boner. Hopefully we'll kind of get that with Agatha Coven of Chaos, and Agatha is the one character, the new introduced character from Phase 4 that I absolutely enjoy. So anything with Agatha Harkness in, as long as Catherine Hahn is playing her, I will probably watch. And from what I hear, the writers for for Darkhold Diaries, I guess is what it's called now, are the same writers who did the one and only episode of WandaVision that I actually liked, which was episode 8.
Okay, hold on. A challenge has been.
I saw it. I was ignoring it.
Here we go. Okay. I'll change your mind, Matt. And I will. There's just no getting lying. If you don't even admit it, I think you're lying. Okay, so here it is. Because I like them, and just because you don't doesn't mean they should be canceled. Other people like them. You don't? Okay, don't watch. But doesn't mean they should be canceled and take away from the people who do like them.
Okay.
Put an even finer point on it. It's a genre. Yes, there will occasionally be bad ones, and we can certainly hold their feet to the fire until they make better ones. But it's an entire genre, just like westerns are an entire genre, or horror is an entire genre, or comedy is an entire genre.
Yes. Don't put me on the spotlight like that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But the point I want to make is this: that yes, they are a genre. People do not kvetch about, there are too many rom-coms. There are too many westerns. There are too many action movies. There are too many horror movies.
There's not enough CSI.
There's too many CSI flat out. Yeah.
Whoa. But they don't kvetch about that. They kvetch about superheroes. Just why? Because they're ticked off that superheroes movies, for the most part, were making bank, and nobody cared about the other genres.
And being successful, they were the dominant genre in Hollywood. I completely agree.
It's the fact they were like the action movies have died down because it's become. Rob said it's all superhero stuff now. Re-release movie.
There were 50 years where you couldn't get a superhero movie made because there were too many freaking action movies and rom-coms and comedies. So
I'm just saying we need to balance it out, not just where everybody's like, hey,
right.
I'm just going to jump on this.
Here's the real problem though. Hollywood actually needs a dominant genre. This always happens. Hollywood finds itself a dominant genre, and the old guard or the journalist class or the critical class poo-poo that genre until it's almost ready to die. And then the moment it dies, the moment the Western genre died, then they were missing Western movies. The moment the horror, the original Universal horror movies died, then they missed the Universal horror movies. And I guarantee you that when superhero movies do eventually die, they will be whining and bitching and moaning about, why can't we go back to the good old days of superhero movies? It's because every time Hollywood invests in a new genre that isn't capital A high art by the old guard standards, they always bitch and whine and moan about the death of cinema. And then the second they finally get it through their heads that this is a genre that should be respected the same as all the other ones, then it dies, and then they whine about, why is Hollywood such a dead zone now? Why is there no dominant genre? And then the new kid on the block shows up again, and they go, this new kid on the block is nothing like the art we used to have, and rinse and repeat forever.
Okay, I'm going to first answer
there we go.
Ash's challenge that there are no good superhero shows. I can think of 4 right off the bat.
He just corrected himself.
Okay, what did he say?
He's Invincible's good, and then Matt says Invincible's never good, even as a comic.
Okay, I can think of 4 right off the bat.
Lies.
I'm a little tricky there.
I can think of Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, Superman and Lois, and Stargirl. Boom.
Stargirl, Superman, and Lois have been my favorite 2.
All right, so the fact that there are none, that blows your argument. There's the exception to the rule. Boom.
NBC's Constantine, The Umbrella Academy, Jupiter's Legacy. I can come up with more if we have to.
Yeah, and number 2.
Daredevil says hi.
I have my question. If they offered me an Iron Man issue 1 slab perfect condition, first of all, I would not take a slab.
None of those are good though.
Yeah.
So it's the guy who's watching The Flash with his roommate.
Yes.
Or the guy who swears by way of water for some unspeakable reason.
Okay. And the second part of it is, if I watched The Exorcist, would I do it? I wouldn't. I will never watch The Exorcist.
Is that really Ash or somebody?
Even for a number 1 Iron Man?
No, I would not. Not for the Wonder Woman slab, and I'll tell you why. I live within 15 minutes of where that actually happened.
Okay.
Therefore,
Jupiter's Legacy was amazing, and I
will not watch it.
All right. Well,
Jupiter's Legacy was amazing, and I was surprised that so many people slept on it because it wasn't enough like The Boys. Yeah, because it's not the frickin' Boys, you douches.
No, it wasn't anything like The Boys.
And the Boys
has been a good show too.
All right,
the Boys comic book is awesome. I don't care what anybody says.
Yes, Esteemed host.
I didn't like the comic. I thought the show was better.
So, anywho, tomorrow is Christmas Eve. If there is
Today is Christmas Eve.
I haven't
as of like
looking up
2 hours
so
ago.
It's still tomorrow. Okay, so anywho, I'm not sure what's going to go on if we're going to do live stream tomorrow. Might after Gail falls asleep on Christmas, it's going to happen. But as for now, in case we don't see you guys, have a very Merry Christmas.
Absolutely.
Thank you for hanging out in this impromptu pop-up late night live stream. It was fun, old-fashioned. Let's just talk about whatever the hell.
I actually got to order next one.
I gotta say,
a couple of them. Yeah.
If you guys are looking for content, he's not streaming tomorrow. Pix and I will be over on Extreme Movie Show.
Yeah.
At 6 p.m. Central, we're going to be discussing "It's a Wonderful Life." First watch for me, and reviewing that. And then afterwards, I think it's 7 p.m. Yeah, Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll be reading basically the Flintstones Christmas Party comic book from 1977.
I'm going to be running around like a chicken with its head cut off. So, that being said, I'll give you.
Don't we also have one more thing on Geeky Puppet that we are running in the afternoon?
Well, that's a pre-recorded. That's at 1
p.m. It's still pre-recorded.
It's a wonderful live radio play.
So, anywho, guys, have a good day. I will leave you with this. If Die Hard is a Christmas movie, so is Psycho. Go check it out. It's a great freaking movie. It takes place at Christmas. Have a good night, and thank you very, very much for watching.
Buon Natale.